Welcome back to the Build It Up series. This is episode 5, good debt versus bad debt. Know the difference. In the last episode, we talked about stacking cash, automatically saving into buckets, so you've got a saving net and you've got some investments ticking away. Now that you've built a little bit of stability, let's talk about the next big concept, which is debt. Because not all debt is created equal. Some debt will keep you stuck or even drag you backwards. And some debt, if you use it the right way, it can actually help you build wealth. So what's the difference? Let's start with bad debt. Bad debt keeps you poor, okay? It's borrowing for things that lose value. Credit cards, Afterpay, car loans, things that you can't really afford and possibly don't really need, and you're paying interest and fees and on something that's going down in value, right? Every single day. So it's reducing your net worth. It makes you poorer over time. So here's an example. You borrow on credit card to pay for a holiday. A year later, you're still making payments. That holiday is long gone. There's nothing to show for it. That's bad debt. Now, good debt is completely different. Good debt is borrowing to buy an asset that builds your wealth, right? So over time, you're buying something that's going to increase in value. It's going to increase your net worth. It makes you better off. And ideally, an asset's going to pay you an income and it's going to increase in value, okay? Something like a rental property. It pays you rent each week and over time, there should be increase in the property value, okay? Or dividend paying shares. So you buy the shares and you get a regular dividend payment and the shares will increase in value over time. Another example would be a business. A business that's generating a profit now and produces equity later when you sell it as a business. So good debt examples I could give you. Those are some of the main ones. Now, but the key is that good debt pushes you forward, okay? Bad debt makes you poorer. If you want to go from working for money, having to go out to work and always just being, feeling like you're behind, you never quite have enough, you can get into a position where your assets pay you, right? Where you're not on that treadmill anymore, where you're not constantly having to struggle to make an income. If you build up a good asset base, and it's assets that pay you, whether it be dividend shares or whether it's rent or whether it's a share in a business, you can actually get into a position where you've got income coming in, right? And that gives you flexibility. And that's what assets are about for me. It's not about the money, right, per se. It's about what you can do with the money. So in my case, money to me means security and it means freedom, right? So it's the security to solve problems when they come up, whether you needed some kind of medical procedure or you need to fix a car or you need a lawyer to work on some complex thing that's come up, and freedom is having the money to be able to work when and where you like, okay? That gives you choices. You can travel, you can chase the sun if you want to. You're just not under pressure all the time because you have money coming in. And that's what this is all about, okay? And that's what this Build It Up series is about. It's about really trying to get that message across that debt is, it's taking your time, right? You've only got this limited sort of time really between, I think it's something like, 30 and 60 is probably where you earn the most, right? So you haven't got an unlimited amount of time if you want to have a comfortable life and especially a comfortable retirement. If you're in debt for 10 years, that really costs you, because if you were investing in assets for 10 years, you'd have that continual growth for that time, right? So it's really about that. It's get out of debt, start saving, build your emergency fund, and start investing. With these tools now like Sharesies and Hatch, there's really anyone can just download an app, do a bit of AML, and you can start investing with ETFs relatively low risk and pretty easy, okay? So look, I hope that helped. None of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I've done pretty well with with money, with assets. I've learned a lot, I've read a lot, I've done a ton of courses, I'm continually educating myself in this space, and I want to help other people get ahead, okay? So if you want to hear about anything specific, please let me know. Thanks.